Welcome to part 2 of this little HoloEN power ranking by Lore series. Today we have Promise, who are for sure the powerhouses of HoloEN. Now maybe I haven't made this clear enough last video, but this is not a gen versus gen kind of thing. At the end of this, all the members will go up against each other in one-on-ones, so it's not just a clear sweep for Promise. I mean, it's likely one of Promise will win at the end, but maybe they get a bad matchup and lose. So we will not know until we actually get to them. One thing I will also do is give them an overall power level at the end. Since during the making of this video, I came to realize that some members are insanely powerful, but just not when it comes to combat. Also stay till the end, cause I want to take some comments I got into the last video and give my opinion on them. Anyways, let's get going and start with Iris. And straight off the bat, I'm gonna need some help here. So, Iris is a Nephilim, that's a fact. It says it on both the virtual YouTuber wiki and the official Hololive website. Now, a Nephilim is the offspring of an angel and in most cases humans. We know Iris is a half demon, half angel. That's also a fact. Now, maybe I just don't understand how all of this works, but how does the child of an angel and most likely a human become a half angel, half demon? Also, it can't be an exception where in Iris's case it was just an angel and a demon, because at least on this source it says that Nephilim are specifically the offspring of angels and any other race that's not a demon. So I'm confused, but maybe that's just a normal thing to happen, I don't really know. Since we know that she's a Nephilim, I'm just gonna continue with that. So Nephilim apparently have just the same powers and abilities as angels, and their strength is even dependent on how powerful the angel parent is, surpassing even them in power. So whatever we will find about angels' powers right here, Iris is even a step up from that. So it looks like there are 3 different types of angels, from the first sphere, second sphere and third sphere. Since Iris is confirmed to be stronger than her angel parent, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that Iris is comparable to the first sphere type of angel, which are the strongest ones. So Iris in that case is capable of and has attributes like, and bear with me for a moment, it's gonna be quite a list: divine strength, an angelic power, ethereal, mana, esoteric, life, elemental, angelic and holy forces. Divine strength is what you think it is. Angelic aura raises one's consciousness, encouraging peace, tranquility and inner clarity. I'll have to find out if that does anything in combat once we get to the fights. Ethereal forces are commonly referred as being able to use the forms of creation and destruction. I think all of us know what mana is, even though it feels kinda off to see the word mana in there, but that's probably just because of my gaming brain rot. Esoteric forces is something that sounds like an 8-year-old kid came up with. Apparently, esoteric forces are the manipulation of extraterrestrial, mythical and unreal things. What the flip is even that? And I thought Kiara was overpowered. Life forces should be self-explanatory, save with elemental powers. Angelic powers are also exactly what you think they are. All those light beams and pulses you have in your head is exactly what it is. It's just super powerful spells, but it also includes being able to create divine weapons. I have the suspicion that angelic forces and holy forces are the same things, since I couldn't find anything about holy forces. And that concludes Iris. Damn! Let's just move on to the next one. Fora is a Kirin. Okay, easy and simple. Now let's just Google what Kirin's abilities are. Alright, looks simple. So Kirins have a couple of abilities that are very powerful, but don't really do much in combat. So I will just skip over them. If you're interested in them, the link to my source is in the description. In some depictions, Kirins can both control and breathe fire. One thing most Kirins, and for sure Fora is capable of, is healing herself as well as others. In some stories, Kirins are able of transformation and even rebirth as a symbol of life. So that's pretty much all the abilities of a Kirin that are useful for combat. But that's not it. Fora is also Mother Nature on top of that. And she comes with a handful of abilities. Being Mother Nature, Fora is additionally able to control both elements and animals. Mother Nature is able to create pretty much anything organic, as long as she can define it as an object. So, according to my source, Mother Nature can manipulate life forces freely, meaning Fora is able to do the thing Kelly isn't, and just choose when someone mortal can die by just taking the life force. She also just has control over a variety of superpowers and abilities. Don't at me, that's literally what it says right here. I don't know what exactly it means either, but I felt like I should mention it. And before someone checks my source and complains I didn't mention it, it says here that Mother Nature, and I quote, can achieve and do absolutely anything without any limit or condition. So take that as you want. But it's safe to say that Fauna is very powerful. So Mume is the guardian of civilization, and we have a little problem right here. I don't know what that means. If you Google it, there is a game with the same name, and the rest of the page is just about Mume herself. What else can we find out? On the official Hololive homepage, it says that she used to just observe civilization, but now interacts with them as well. So that's not very useful. Her debut stream is also no help when it comes to what she can do. I also know from that one time Fauna ranked Myth and Council herself when it comes to power that Mume can't control civilization, so I feel like Mume is probably not super strong. I really wish I could say more, but Mume seems to have no significant powers or abilities that would help her in combat or even in general. Next up, Crony. Okay, Crony is the Warden of Time, so I bet she has a lot of lore that will help us to find out what her abilities are. Okay, let's see. You gotta be flipping kidding me. And also the Warden of Time seems to not be referenced anywhere else, so we just have to assume what Crony's abilities are. Well, at least in Crony's case, it's a little bit easier than for Mume. If we assume that the Warden of Time is the highest command when it comes to time, it's safe to say that Crony is immensely powerful. I don't think she created time, since she was created by a god and that god probably is the one that created time. But I still go ahead and assume that she's at least capable of freely manipulating time, which would already make her more powerful than the majority of who we talked about so far. I probably don't need to mention this, but Crony of course has overworldly physical attributes that are already enough to beat multiple people we have talked about so far. Crony also has her blades, which she seems to just wield for fun, but I'm sure she's more than capable in combat with them. Yep, there isn't much to say about Crony, but the little things we know are more than enough to say that she's immensely powerful. Bay is the embodiment of chaos, which is again a thing that has no set in stone abilities. Can't I just talk about time traveling detectives again? Okay, I kinda lied. There are depictions of chaotic powers and forces in fiction, but how do I know that this is the same chaos as Bay's? I don't, but there is one thing that chaotic powers seem to have in common over multiple types of medias, and that is that its user is able to manipulate both space and time to a certain extent. Something you also almost always see is some kind of reality shift or even reality shatter abilities. I don't know this of course, but from what I have read, I kinda get the vibes it's like Lost Fruit from One Piece on steroids. Instead of just doing some cutting and a bit of swapping, the user of chaotic forces can literally do whatever they want, within their own limitations. What are these limitations? I have no clue, but I think we can all agree that Bay can probably manipulate space and time as she wants, at least until either Crony or Sana themselves pull up and let her know who the real boss is here. So for Bay, what a surprise, she's from Promise after all. She's an absolute powerhouse with abilities and powers that can hardly be grasped. Alright, that's it for the main part of this video. Now to some comments from the last one. First up, thank you so much for watching these videos and taking your time to comment under them as well. It's just awesome to see how active you guys are, and I literally get a little excited every time I see a notification about a new comment. So just that you know, even though I might argue against some of these commenters under the video right here, I still appreciate each and every one of them. First up, I would like to apologize for not mentioning one of the most powerful attributes Ame has. Her being British, of course. I don't know how I could miss that, and I'm very ashamed of myself. Next up, we have this comment by Sierlea. I hope that's how you pronounce that. Who was skeptical of the abilities that a phoenix has that I presented in the video. Which is totally fair. Even I had trouble believing it when I read it for the first time. But that's not even a comment I want to talk about. It's this response by MegaBep, who says they found the source I used under my response where I literally linked my source. Anyways, they found a source about the Marvel Phoenix Force and that shouldn't count. Well, I read through it and there are some overlaps with my source, but that's just not what I used. The source I used is about the mythical creature Phoenix and not some Marvel character. So yeah. And the final thing I would like to talk about is the whole Gura Poseidon situation, which originated under the comment from Detective Potato. Hey, I like that name. Anyways, they claimed that Gura does talk about Poseidon a couple of times and that the trident she has is his. Which is true, but I can't find her saying anything about being related to him or that the trident is indeed his. So I responded if they could link an article or maybe a clip where Gura actually says it. Unfortunately, Detective Potato never responded. But someone else did, Jan. I swear if that's not how you pronounce it. Anyways, they said that, and I'm gonna read the whole comment here since I wanna split it up in multiple parts. Well, to be more accurate, she is the Princess of Atlantis, seen with the princess outfit. And in her music video of Reflect, she sits in the throne room of Atlantis. So she has to be a descendant of Poseidon, of some kind. While in a Dead by Daylight stream, she claims Poseidon is her dad. So let's split it up. First, let's talk about the being a princess of Atlantis because of her outfit. So I'm assuming you're talking about this outfit right here. And I went ahead and watched the whole thing, the whole outfit reveal back. Not a single time did she say anything about it being a princess outfit. In fact, she even said, and I quote, "my ancient Atlantean garb." So I don't really know what that is proving, but hey, I totally get it. It looks like a princess kinda outfit, so I totally understand if you get a bit confused there. Let's move on to the Reflect music video, where apparently Gura can be seen sitting in the throne room. So I checked, and first off, it's a music video. It's just made to look cool. That's what music videos are here for. If we took any music video as canon for the lore, then Promise would be pretty weak if all 4 of them need to team up to take down a blob of slime in the music video for their newest song. But hey, let's go ahead and say that any animation, music videos included, have lore in them and should be taken as lore accurate. First of all, Gura is never sitting in the throne room. She's always standing in front of the throne, which, to be fair, can be interpreted as having the same meaning, so it doesn't really matter. But when I show you guys this frame right here of Gura standing in front of the throne, do you notice anything? Anything that seems odd or shouldn't be that way? Gura is wearing clothes. In fact, she's wearing her default outfit. Why does she have it? If all animations are canon, then the animation Sharked confirms for us that Gura doesn't wear anything prior to leaving the sea. So there is definitely something off there. But still, I don't want to say you're 100% wrong. I just feel like we can't really use music videos as canon lore at all. And for the clip where Gura claims herself that she's Poseidon's daughter, well, look yourself.
Poseidon's my dad. Poseidon is not actually my dad. That's a joke, by the way.
Alright, thank you so much for watching part 2 of this series. I think I might squeeze in a different video in before going on with Advent. Maybe. I don't really know. We will see. With that being said, see ya.